Welcome back to the Cold Case channel. Today I thought I'd do something a little different and work on some more recent cases of missing children from the Omaha area. As I was researching cold cases, I discovered a huge number of missing children, and so I thought, let's do this. Maybe we can prevent it from becoming a cold case. Omaha seems to have a large number of missing children in comparison to our population size. We're at 39th in the nation in terms of population, and then the next largest city in the state of Nebraska is just over half the size we are. So it's very sparsely populated, and yet we have a higher per capita rate than many of the states close to us. Omaha is sort of like a mini big city surrounded by a small town, surrounded by farms, surrounded by nothing. So in terms of population density, only 7 states have smaller population per square mile than Nebraska. And so while we're obviously not deserving of any awards for that, any missing child is too many missing children. Anyway, so as I was researching, looking for cold cases, I really struggled to find concrete data in like one cohesive listing. Just a huge web of confusion. Every website I checked said something different. Some of the kids were the same from one to the other. I really had a lot of trouble finding if the child is still missing or if they have been found. It's a big mess, to say the least. And so I chose a handful to start out with that are kind of the more recent cases, not really gone cold yet. I'd say maybe within the last year, some of them within the last week, really. And so I'm just going to start out with these 15. If I wanted to do all of the kids in the Omaha area and in, like, say, the suburbs and surrounding towns, this would be a 3-day long video. So I'm just going to start here. And I'll probably do a succession of videos and see how far I can get to maybe get all their faces out here. So I did want to make this quick disclaimer. If for some reason you're on this list and you've been found, I apologize profusely. Not trying to cause anyone any problems. It's just that based on what I found, the people included in this list have not been verified as, quote, no longer missing. So it's out of concern for each individual that I post this. So I mean no harm whatsoever. But hopefully, you all get found, and hopefully I don't cause any problems for anyone. So just apologizing in advance in case there are any issues in that direction. And so to start out with, I'm going to play this news video that I found about missing children in the Omaha area. Apparently, the number of children missing versus the number of missing children who are actually shown on the news, there is a huge discrepancy. And this video kind of gives some splaining about why that is. And I take real issue with this explanation that they're giving. I wholeheartedly disagree, but I'll go ahead and let you listen to that, and then I'll kind of go into my thoughts afterwards.
There are lots of people listed missing, much more than get wide public attention. So what elevates a case to that level? 3 News Now reporter Erin Hegarty spoke with law enforcement about what makes a case high profile.
While there have been a lot of high-profile missing person cases lately, we received a few emails from folks wondering why we weren't covering a case they were close to. We only report on cases that law enforcement agencies confirm are active missing person cases where the public's help is needed in locating someone. Today, they explained what goes into making that decision. Friday, Nebraska's Missing Persons Clearinghouse listed 41 people from this month as reported missing. But for cases that get elevated attention from law enforcement and media, there are much fewer. Omaha Police Sergeant Brett Schrage, who works in the Missing Persons Unit, says Omaha police see 2,800 missing minors reported in a typical year, the vast majority runaways. But he estimates only 5 to 10 missing people cases each year will cause OPD to request attention and the public's help. He says they have to be selective on what they push out or people will become numb to every notice. He says it's case by case, but some things that might raise red flags are extreme age, very young, or an older adult who may be confused, a suicide note, any evidence of danger if police can verify it.
People will tell us their hunches, or they'll say something that they heard from somebody who heard from somebody, and that's all stuff that, we follow up with. But if we can't verify that information as being true, we can't necessarily go off of that information.
There are a lot, and circumstances aren't always concerning to police. In just one example, it's not a crime for someone to make a quick change in their situation without telling anyone. Each case has factors that must be considered. In Omaha, Aaron Hagerty, 3 News Now.
So I threw this graph back up here because I just wanted to point out. So in terms of missing children by age, you can see the 12 to 17 group is about 26 or 27,000 children, whereas all the other kids put together is about 1,600. So there's a huge discrepancy, and there's this common notion of, like they said in the video, make a quick change in your living arrangement or something. Just because a child is a runaway does not mean they're not in danger, and this just irks me so much. And as we go through the pictures of some of the children who are still listed as missing, you're going to see how young they are. I mean, they're just children. Once they walk out the front door of the house, it doesn't really matter where they're going. They're in danger. And so this idea that we need to wait 24 hours for a runaway or not really look as hard for them is just completely insane, in my opinion. Runaway or not, they're still in danger. Trafficking is a real thing, and these kids need to be looked for just like every other child. And to say, well, we're only going to put 5 or 10 on the news, that's not even one a month out of, what did they say, like 2,800 children every year. We are not going to get desensitized to the idea of a missing child. We're going to get freaked out. We're going to look more and harder and try to do more to solve the problem. It will have the exact opposite effect, I believe, of what they're saying it will have. I think if we knew the sheer number and it was in our face every day, we watch the news, these kids are still missing, that's an attention getter. That's not a desensitizer. Okay, so I'm going to stop ranting like a mom who just found out how many kids are actually missing near me and my children. So I'll be quiet now, and let's go ahead and get into the children themselves. Okay, so the first one is Trenton Tiemeyer, who goes by the nickname Trent. He is 17 and has been missing since November 27th of this past year, so just a couple months. It says he's missing from Boys Town. Now, the most information that I came across online for him was a plea from his sister that he was missing, and I couldn't find anything that said he's been found again. And so that was a strange case. It sounds like he was taken to Boys Town, which is kind of a group home here, without his parents' knowledge. And so it's a really crazy story in the information that I came across on Reddit. But if you're familiar with Boys Town, there's been a lot of bad happenings there over the years. And I did a video about some of that previously, so I'll go ahead and link that in the description. Anyway, so you're going to notice that there are quite a number of children that are on this list that are from Boys Town, and so that just by itself becomes suspicious. But again, I couldn't find anywhere where he's been found, so I went ahead and let him be included in the list, and hopefully he is home safe. And so the next child is Inez Brockman, and she would be classified as missing indigenous, which is a whole problem in and of itself. And so here's a picture of Inez. Again, I couldn't find anything that said she's been found, so I just went ahead and assumed that she still needs our help, still needs people to be looking for her. So there's one picture. Now here's another picture of Inez with her hair up. Inez is 17 years old, and she's been missing since July 12th of 2022. So just about 7 months it's been since she was first reported missing. So we'll be praying for her safe return home. And here is the data sheet on Inez with the phone number and what to do if you have information on her whereabouts. Now, on some of the kids, I was able to find a little bit more information and more pictures than other missing children. But this one is Sam Gebremeskel, I believe is how you'd pronounce that. And so it looks like his family is originally from Ethiopia or maybe Eritrea. Now, I don't know if he was born there or born here. So if you were to encounter Sam, there may be an accent that would let you know. Not really sure on that. And so here's some more pictures I found of him. Now, this girl here, I put this in here because she resembles another missing girl. So I found her on his Facebook page, and you can see the hair is the same as this next missing girl. And then there's one other girl who looks like maybe she's the one in the picture. She's not been reported missing, but I did put her in there because I'm not sure which of those two girls it is, but potentially a girlfriend, maybe someone who's, helping him stay away from home. So just something to be on the lookout for. And I say that not to presume their whereabouts, but just because, I hope that they're just with friends hiding out somewhere and that they're safe. And so this is that other girl that appears to maybe be the one in the picture with him. And she is also missing. Her name is Elizabeth Arnold, and she is 15 years old. She was reported missing October 10th of 2022, so that was 3 days after Sem was reported missing. And this is that other girl. This may be her, it may not be, I don't know. This girl, I'll say again, is not missing, okay? I'm just including her because she might be someone that he may be seen with. And so for her safety and privacy, I'm not going to give any of her information other than this is someone he may be seen with. Now, the next child is a girl named Asane Marks. She is only 12. She's been missing since October 5th of 2022 from the Omaha area, so she's very, very young. And that's all the information I was able to find about Asane. Couldn't find a Facebook profile with any other pictures or acquaintances or anything like that. But here's the phone number if you have information on Asane. Next is Jacob Steinbach, and he is 16-year-old boy missing since September 26th of 2022. So about 4 months. And with this child also, I couldn't find a Facebook profile, no other pictures online, no elaborating information on the circumstances. But so here's the phone number for Jacob. And next we have Ciela Walker. She is a 16-year-old female missing since August 31st of 2022. So she's been gone a little longer than some of the others. I want to say, let's see, well, about 5 months maybe, 5 or 6, somewhere in there. So quite a long time. And again, I couldn't find really any other information on her. Here is the phone number to call with information about Ciela. Now next we have April Gonzalez. And this was an interesting one. I found several pictures of April, but I couldn't verify that they were all actually her. But this picture, I really had to hunt around to find. I was looking to see if I could get as many, pictures as possible to give a really good profile of April from different angles and such. But as I was doing that, when I would type in her name, this picture here is the one that kept coming up. So I don't know if April is a trans child or if this is honestly just a mistake in the record keeping somehow. And I did try to compare facial features, but one is a side view and one is the front view. So I really couldn't even say for sure this is the same person, but just something to be aware of. And then these others are younger pictures of April. And then next we have Adriana Ali, 18-year-old female. She's been missing since July 25th of 2022 from the Omaha area. So just about 6 or 7 months that she's been gone. And now again, I couldn't verify if Adriana has in fact returned home or not. I did find some other pictures of her, and so I'll go ahead and put those here. This is her with her hair up, and then now this is a side view. You can see she has a nose piercing, and then here she is again. I think she's a little younger in this one, and then this final one, she is very young. But I went ahead and included it because, again, I just can't say this enough. These are children. And no matter where they are going when they leave their house, if they're alone, they're in danger. And if they're on the streets, very susceptible to manipulation. Because they're easy prey. Oh, here, come over to my house. I have food. I have a warm place for you to sleep. But the bottom line is these are children and they need help. Now next here we have Gracie Gutierrez. And initially the information said she was missing from Omaha, but I did find a source that listed it as Bellevue. So I went ahead and included her in the Omaha list because it's kind of irrelevant, but I didn't want to go outside of Omaha yet. I wanted to really focus on Omaha just because there are so many children that if I start, jumping all over the place, it's going to get really complicated. So I've included quite a few pictures of Gracie here, and again, some of these are her going back as she was younger that I found on her Facebook page, or multiple pages, and I just tried to get her from different angles. She was reported missing November 2nd of 2022, and she was just 14 years old at that time. Gracie is very petite at 5'4" and just 110 pounds. So again, I put her in with the Omaha, and we'll go ahead and go through those and then maybe branch out from there just to keep it from getting to be too overwhelming. And now with Gracie, in going through her Facebook, it does seem that her most recent post, like the last one she made, is lined up time-wise with the general time when she went missing. There hasn't been a post since then, and that was the case with most of the kids, which, I mean, to me that's just scary because they've stopped posting on their social media accounts. Just a huge red flag. I think there was like one of the girls that has actually been posting on her Facebook page, although she's still listed as missing, and we'll go ahead and talk about her a little more towards the end of the video. Now, this next one is Gabriel Kadash, and he's also missing from Boys Town. He's 17 years old, missing since September 19th of 2022. Now, I did find a couple other pictures of Gabriel and some information, a little about himself and his family life, so that was unusual. Apparently, he's really into sports. I think I found some information about baseball, maybe track, maybe gymnastics. And so here's a picture of him when he was littler. Said about age 10, and they were actually profiled in a local magazine. His parents are pretty active in the community as far as like philanthropy and stuff. This is the third time that he's come up as a missing person. And so that's all I have on Gabriel Kudash. And now this next we have Kurt O'Neill, also from Boys Town. He is 17 and was reported missing on September 18th of 2022. I did find several pictures of Kurt on Facebook, and so I'll go ahead and include those here. So you just get kind of several different profiles of his face. And I think one of them he was kind of little in the picture. So these are those. Not a lot of information on like family background. As with most of the kids, just all I could really find was maybe Facebook profiles, and it's all, video games and music. So unfortunately, this is all I have after days of searching online. Now next is another missing Indigenous child, and I hope I'm saying this right, H.O. Heaton. Some places I found it didn't have the A, so it would be Echo, perhaps. She is 17, also listed missing from Boys Town. Now, I was able to find that she has been posting to social media, so thank God for that. She's doing okay. Still not sure where she is. If she's returned home or what is the story with that, but I did find quite a few pictures just to be on the safe side. Again, hope and pray that she's somewhere safe, but she is at least posting to her social media. So I just put a few pictures up for her, not trying to cause her any problems at all if she is home and safe. So there's that for her. I really kind of hesitated to include her, but again, just to be on the safe side. So if you do see her, maybe just ask her, hey, you doing okay? Do you need any help? Rather than just, outright calling the authorities. She may well have turned 18 by now. The next child is Isaiah Chaidez. I think I'm saying that right. This one, he was on some lists, but not on others, and so again, it's real hard to differentiate if he is actually still considered missing. I was able to find several pictures, not a ton, again, just very little information aside from the pictures, but I'll go ahead and throw them up here. And so Isaiah has been missing, looks like since the very day he turned 16 on July 28th of 2021. So he would now be about 17 and a half. It has him at 5'8", 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He wears glasses. And it says he may travel to Norfolk. And so here's some information. How to contact the police if you do find Isaiah. Now, there is one picture from a Facebook profile that I found with this same name. It looks like this might be a child from Idaho, but again, I maybe could have moved. It looked like he has family members in, different parts of the country and in different countries. And so this may or may not be his picture, but it sure looks a lot like him. Now, the last child I have is Indri Gweets Yaxkal, I think is how you say that, Yaxkal. She has been missing since December 31st of 2022. So this is real recent here. I think originally I said it was within the last week, but it's actually within about the last month and a half. So Indri is 17, and this is another one who left in proximity to her birthday and has friends and relatives in, different states, different countries. And these are some pictures of her when she was younger, and I really noticed it was so concerning. Tons of likes on these pictures from when she was little, and as I was going through, like the ones that did more than just a thumb up, there's so many adult males and older teen boys. And again, as a parent, it's, just scary. Hopefully those are relatives. And hopefully, as with all the rest of the children, I just hope that they're safe, that they're returned to their family if it's safe to do so, or wherever they came from. Just pray for their well-being, and this was a hard one for me. Just with the idea of trafficking in the back of your mind. Omaha is said to be a pretty major capital in the country in terms of trafficking, right up there with, say, like Houston, Texas, Washington, D.C. And so it's a really frightening thing. I'm going to try to put out another video soon with some more kids. Took a few days to make sure, as best I can, that these aren't children who have been found safe, because we don't want to be putting their information out needlessly. So even if you're not in the Omaha area, still definitely be on the lookout for these adorable little faces, and hopefully this video did some good. Thanks for watching. Bye!